Okay, and I'm just going to shut this door so that I can't hear Virgil. Oh, am I? Okay, got it. There we go.
I'm on speaker mode. It's not you. Oh no, it is. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're recording? Namaste, my friend. Welcome to this restorative yoga practice for grounding in the menopausal transition. I hope that you enjoy this class today. So this is such an important first step in our journey together over the next 6 weeks, because the first step in coming out of chronic inflammation in the menopausal transition is to first just reduce stress, do less. So we are going to be starting off seated. You can actually lie down if you really want to, but I'm going to start off seated. So let's come into a comfortable posture. I am sitting on a bolster because why not? Why not sit on a bolster? All right, there's my notes. Beautiful. So getting nice and comfortable, maybe propping yourself up. And let's find our ease. Lift and lower the eyebrows a few times. Open and close the jaw, relaxing the inner ears. Shift around, move around. And let's start by, first of all, noticing our breath. Simply noticing where in your body you are breathing today. Maybe it's the throat or the chest, the back. And let's see if we can nudge the breath down into the belly. And if you're more of a tactile person, placing a hand or two on the belly, or one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. And we will just continue to inhale into the belly. And then let exhale soften out. Coming into odd hum, belly breathing, inhaling, feeling the belly expanding. And then with a slight hum in the back of the throat, exhaling. The humming gently strokes the back of the throat where the vagus nerve is in the throat and starts to send signals that it is time to rest. Signals to our parasympathetic nervous system. And we'll come into dirga breath, or 3-part breath. Inhale into the belly. Take another sip of air. Fill the heart. And then a 3rd sip of air. Fill the throat and suspend. Let the breath go. Inhale belly. Inhale heart. Inhale throat. You just get to the top. Exhale, slide the breath out. Inhale belly, heart, throat. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times with a hum. So big wave of prana. One more time. Now let this get a little more subtle. We'll come into ocean breathing, inhaling, and then exhaling again. Lips are closed, but the jaw is soft. And allow that little gentle hum, that little gentle sensation, the rushing sound, that little in the back of the throat, right where you swallow. A really, really gentle breath that just kind of strokes the back of the throat. And this is a great tool that you can do anytime to help bring you out of that sympathetic arousal and into more parasympathetic rest, digest, and restore. I will often do this in bed, just that little Ocean breathing is not a true ujjayi. Ujjayi is when you start to pump the Uddiyana Bandha area and you really start to apply a little bit more restriction in the glottis area. So ocean breath is just really gentle and soft. Some people refer to ocean breath as Darth Vader breathing, just nice and gentle. And let's work with an affirmation or setting a sankalpa. We're working towards a sankalpa here. Working for a grounding affirmation. I am calm. I am grounded. I am centered. I am peaceful. I am rooted. I am here. I deserve to be here. I am safe. Did any of those work for you today? I am grounded. Feel down into the areas that are touching the mat, touching the surface beneath you. Exhale into those areas. Let the body become just a little bit more heavy, a little bit more solid. And notice if you can take up a little bit more space with the breath. I am grounded. I am safe. If the eyes were closed, let's allow them to flutter open and we will come into our first posture. Supported child's pose. So for me, I'm just getting my timer out here. Wherever it went, there it is. I like to add on some propping underneath the bolster. So I like to grab a couple of blocks and my bolster. And I like luxury. So a little bit of support underneath the knees, a little luxury, some padding, and I've got my bolster. So I'm going to take 2 blocks and bring this in. Now, if you have knees that need a little bit of extra love, you can turn these blocks even further up this way or have them this way. Bring the bolster or your couch cushion on top. Now in this one, if you're feeling cold, you can put another blanket over top of you or take it as is. I like to scooch my pelvis in toward the bolster so that I can just lie down and wrap my arms underneath. This is the way that I like to take this. Now, let's talk options. You can look straight to the side or straight down or the other side. You can bring those hands down to the sides, maybe reach them away and pull them back and reach away, maybe on a kind of a Y or the arms out to the sides, or wrap them down by the feet. You can take those hands and scooch them underneath. This is often the way that I will take my supported restorative child's pose. And then you'll notice I like to kind of shake side to side and find what feels good right here. And then make sure your knees are comfortable. My toes are not touching. They can be touching if it serves you. The knees can be narrower or wider. And let's start to breathe into our low back now. Imagining lungs in our low back. Let's inhale and exhale. Opening up the back side of our heart here with each inhalation and allowing the front side of the heart to become heavy on the bolster. Inhaling and exhaling. And let yourself be held. And know that you can move, you can shift, and you can change. Just for the next 30 seconds, let yourself be held. I am calm. I am present. Take 2 more breaths. That's it. And then we'll unwind this posture, bringing our hands underneath our shoulders. And let's just push up. Ooh. Come onto all fours. And you can do a really gentle cat and cow, or just find a stable, still position. They're both okay. Some people need to move after being still, and some people like more stillness after being still. Neither one is right or wrong. Good. Now let's come on in. And I'm just going to bring my legs around, straddling the bolster just like this. And now from here, I quite like to build myself a little Stonehenge like this with my 2 blocks and my bolster. We're going to do a seated forward fold. And from here, you can simply bring your head down to the bolster. This is a pretty big bend for a lot of people. So if it is, take the blocks away. And you can turn the zipper up so that your nose doesn't touch it down here. And then put your forehead on the side that's smooth. So you don't want the side that has the handle. You want the handle down and the zipper up so that when you tuck your nose under here, it's not on top of the zipper. Otherwise, you'll walk around the rest of the day and you'll have a handle mark on your forehead and a zipper mark on your nose, or at least I will, because, that's my skin. And then you can just allow the head to come down. If you are feeling really flexible today, you can make yourself a little bit of a tower and come in this way, and you'll come down a little bit further. So there's 3 different ways to do this supported forward fold. You choose, there's more than that, but let's choose the one that works for us today. Setting my timer. And then allow your body just to be held once again. So we're doing another action of opening up the back, but we're up a little bit more. We're not quite so bent in this one. Once again, no matter where you are, you can reach those hands away and pull back. And just find what feels good. Maybe you want to bring them behind you, or maybe in front of you. And send the breath into the back again. I am grounded. I am anchored. I am safe. And notice if you can put aside your to-do list. If you can put it on the shelf for now, you can come back to it later. But just for now, let's be present with each other. Noticing where you feel the sensation, if you do. And is it pleasant or would you like less? Maybe adding more support to your body here. Maybe liking some support underneath the knees or a blanket. Whatever you might like, give yourself permission to take that. Just 3 more breaths in this beautiful pose. And then gently walk back upwards, slowly coming up to a seated position. Again, giving yourself a moment here to come out of that. That can be a huge position for a lot of people, depending on what kind of propping you had. Let's bend our knees, one and the other, and maybe just allow them to windshield wiper a little bit. How you doing? Let's start to open up our heart just a little bit. Still a very, very grounding posture. Now, if you have a wall near you, you can do a supported legs up the wall. If you don't have a wall, you can do a waterfall pose. So I'm just going to move my blocks off to the side and grab my bolster. Now, I don't have a wall near me, obviously. So I'm going to set myself up to put my blanket here and my bolster right here like this. I'm going to just allow myself to scoop down over the bolster. So my bum and my back end are on the bolster. So now I'm in a nice supported shoulder bridge. And then one at a time, let's just pick our feet up and bring them up into the air. If you're at a wall, you can also just have your backside on the bolster, but have the legs against the wall. But the wall is really not necessary for this hold. There we go. And in this pose, you can let the legs kind of drop back a little bit if you want, or keep them straight up. They can be bent. When I'm in waterfall pose like this, one of my favorite things to do is, because I'm a pretty active person, is just reach those hands up. Let the wrists kind of dangle. And then take a moment and just kind of shake the arms and legs out from side to side. So just rotating the whole arm and the whole leg and the ball and socket joints. And then let it hang out for a moment. And sometimes that little bit of shaking just gets the tension out of my joints and out of my limbs a little bit, and kind of hang out here. Hmm. And then when it feels good, you can just let those arms drop. And if you've been on your feet all day, this is a wonderful pose. Gets rid of inflammation in the feet, those swollen ankles, just allows the body to sink. Let's start to add that humming tone to our breath. So inhaling and then exhaling. Trying that descending hum, that exhale with a little And know that if you want to bend the knees, you can always bend those knees. You can put the feet down if it's better for you. And if you're in this position for longer than we're holding it today, you can take a stretching strap and put it around the legs so the legs can really relax around all of this as well. Just going to take a few more breaths here. And then one at a time, let's just bring those feet down to the mat. Let the blood flow back in, maybe stretching the legs out really briefly. That feels good. Or bringing them in. And then lifting up onto your toes, lift the bum up, and let's just move that bolster over to the right side of our body and let the knees come down. We'll draw our knees in briefly, taking that Apanasana, reclining child's pose. And you can maybe get a little circle to the right and a circle to the left with the legs. Feels good, doesn't it? I love the way that my legs feel after legs up the wall. Now, for this next one, you might need a block here. And we are going to come into our reclining side position. So this, remember, we want to be restorative today. So not so yin-like. The bolster is going to be on the right side of our body. We're going to pick the bum up, move it over to the right slightly, and then allow the knees to fall to the left. This block is right there, ready and willing to catch you on the left side. If you have an extra bolster, you can put that under there. But I quite like to tuck that bolster into my low back and bum area with my arm over the top like this, so that I can kind of have a little support on the left and a little support on the right. So I've got a block bolster behind me and a block here. So the bolster is right there. I don't know if you can see it. And then heart can be open. The hands can both be on one side. The right hand can be overhead. Whatever feels good for you. And then take a moment and find what feels good for those hands. Scooch that in a little bit more. I like the bolster behind my back. I feel more secure. I don't know why. It's probably psychosomatic, but I'm okay with that. And then allow your body to be held again by the props. Let's start to breathe now into our right ribs. Inhaling, imagining expansion through the right rib. And then exhaling through the left waist. Inhaling, right ribs expanding. Exhaling, left waist. Inhaling and exhaling. In the yogic tradition, we are taught that the right side of the body is our more solar side of the body. It's the heated side. It's also the side of activity and of judgment, passion, and of anger. So let's invite in expansion into that solar side of the body, inhaling. And then imagining exhaling heat through the left waist. Inhaling right ribs, exhaling left waist. A form of right nostril breathing, but with the body, or Surya Beta, but with the body. Inhaling and exhaling. And for the next 20 seconds, is there anything that you can do to add to your comfort? One more big breath into the right ribs. Let's turn our gaze back up to the ceiling and sweep the left arm underneath the left knees. Move that bolster and move the bum back into the middle. Let's draw the knees into the chest if that works for you, or maybe just take a shoulder bridge, whatever serves you. Do that. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So you can move your entire body around or pick up your props and move them. Whatever is going to serve you. So again, I'm going to move my bum over to the left side slightly, and then simply bring the legs right together and allow them to drop to the right. And bring that bolster in. So you can see it's just a little tighter into my body here. Just gives me a little teeny tiny bit of support that I quite enjoy, but it's not set in stone. You can put that bolster underneath the right knees. Let's bring our arms out and we can look to the right and to the left. Allow the body just to settle where it serves you. And now we'll turn our breath into our left side of our body. Again, the yogic tradition teaches us that this is our more lunar side of the body, our cooling side of the body, our more emotional and feeling side. Let's start to breathe now into the left ribs, inviting in cooling. inviting in spaciousness and air into the body, and exhaling through the right waist. Inhale, and then let the heat go. Let the stress, any anxiety or negativity just drain out through the right waist. And instead, replace it with your affirmation that worked. Your I am grounded. I am safe. I am present. I am calm. Whatever that was, whatever that looks like, I am present. And again, know that you can move. You can adjust this. You can shuffle your feet, but try to stay. Inhale, expanding in, cooling air, left ribs. Exhaling, releasing tension, right waist. You are safe and you are in control. One more breath. Move any and all propping. Use the right hand to bring the knees back up. Let's draw those knees into the chest. Ooh. Move around so that you can come up to a seated position. And then let's use our bolster this way again. We're going to come into supported reclining bound angle or supported reclining butterfly posture. So here, you might need your blocks on either side of you, and you might not. It's totally up to you. You might also want a second blanket for a few different reasons. You can put that blanket down here. Some of us really enjoy elevating the feet in reclining bound angle posture, and some people don't. Some people really, really don't like it, but you kind of don't know until you try it. So it'll look like this. Lots of people really love to have the blocks underneath their knees. With my hips, I don't really need them, but that's me. It'll look a lot like this. And you can take those blocks, put them underneath the knees like this, and then allow your body to drop. And for some people, they like a more supported reclining cobbler pose. It feels better to have the feet crossed than just together. Again, totally up to you. Blocks or no blocks, propping here or not. This is quite heavenly for me. Another option that you might like if you have cold feet is to take your blanket and wrap your feet with it like this. Just an option. Options are just that, right? They're just a thing that you can do and you can say, no, thank you, too. I'm going to elevate my feet. So let's find that posture that works for us today. And maybe you don't want the knees out. Maybe you'd rather have them extended out with the propping underneath the feet in more of a reclining fish posture. The important thing is that you are taking what serves you. We're going to open our heart, but we're still super grounded. We'll turn our palms up and then allow the hands to windshield wiper overhead and pull them down until we find a position that works for us. And when you find that, allow your body to become heavy. Allow your body to sink and to be held. And if it feels better for you to bring the hands down and set them on the belly, do that. There's no right or wrong. There's only what serves you today. And how does it feel to have your heart open like this today? How does it feel to be grounded and yet open? Send your breath into the belly, inhaling, belly expanding. Exhaling, softening. Mm. Continuing to breathe and release. Make any modifications to this posture for the next 3 breaths. And then we'll sweep those arms down, use the hands underneath the thighs and bring those knees back up. Rolling over onto a side. Ooh. And pushing up. Come into our final pose before Shavasana. And this is a pose that you may or may not like for Shavasana. I'm just going to shuffle my bolster down. Place it underneath my knees like this. And now we're going to come into Mountain Brook. The posture is called Mountain Brook because it's like a brook flowing over a stream bed. So it babbles, it goes up and down. This part is going to go underneath your thoracic spine area. I find I can hold this posture quite well if it's up about 3 of my blanket thicknesses. Some people like 1, like a small towel. Some people say, nope, none at all. It's quite a heart opener. So I'm just going to press that. And it looks like this when I come down. So the support is underneath my knees. And then I bring this under. And see now, I'm in quite a big heart opener position here. The hands come across and above the blanket like this. So the body is kind of rising and falling as it travels downwards. And yes, I do have short legs, so my heels aren't really touching. And you might want a pillow underneath your head or a rolled up blanket here. That can be quite a steep drop for the head. You might want to bring those hands down to the belly or have them up. But notice how it feels to let your body just kind of flow over the props here. Notice how it feels to just go with the flow. Being both grounded and flowing at the same time. Grounded and heart open. And let yourself just exhale into the support. One more breath. And then let's roll over onto the side. Now, if this serves you for Shavasana, feel free to hold it right there. But if it's not serving you, if you want out of it, now is your time to take any and all positions that you might like for your Shavasana. There's no right, there's no wrong. Lie down, blanket, socks, or nothing. Maybe you really, really liked Mountain Brook for your position. If you did, that's great. And let's find a position that's serving us. Let's find a position where we can find just a little bit of ease here. And that could be seated. Maybe you liked one of the positions that we did in class today. Take that. Do that. Legs up the wall. Forward fold, maybe on your side again. And mentally, let's just scan our bodies. Notice your feet. Feel into your kneecaps and see if you can invite in a little bit more ease into the knees. Sweeping awareness up the hips. See if you have a little bit of spaciousness in the hips. And into the belly. And notice if we can send our breath readily into the belly now. Feel across the heart and the chest. Notice if there's any place that has any tension, and maybe release it. The neck, open and close the jaw a couple times, lift and lower the eyebrows. Shoulders away from the ears. And let's feel all the way out to the fingertips. Maybe close the jaw, close the fists, and then extend the fingers out. And then let them just gently soften wherever they want to go. And take a few breaths here. And if one of the affirmations worked for you, maybe repeating it now. I am grounded. I am calm. Notice the breath. Nostrils contracting as you inhale. Feel the breath on the back of your throat. Exhale. The breath a little bit warmer. The body releasing heat. I'd like to offer you this poem by Noel Harrison, River's Song. She is the song like river. Her notes carry far, take me far, and push me down the mountain. She is the song which whispers. Autumn showers patter like a tiny child's heart. She is breathless, fleeting, exquisite. She is the song that started as it ought, a tiny cluster, a blossom. The song worked through her and she let her go. She glides down river. She sings from within. I hear her. Let's take 2 more breaths here, inhaling. And start to enliven your breath. Start to find a little bit more activity in the body. Run your tongue across your teeth, thumbs across your fingertips. Wiggle your toes. Bend your knees to the sky and roll over onto a side. And take a moment to say thank you to yourself right here. Thank you for taking this time to take care of yourself. When you are ready, push up to a seated position, bringing hands to heart. Om Shanti 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 Om. Om peace, 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 all encompassing peace. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. I hope that you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to talk to me. I'm just going to turn the recording off now. Thank you.